YouTube, welcome back to another video, man. My name is Motion FX, and today I'll just be going over the previous trading week. We had a pretty solid week. Wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. So I'm gonna just go over the trades I took, and I'm gonna show you guys why I took these trades. I'm gonna go over my strategy, and I'm gonna just give as much value as I possibly can in this video. So stay tuned till the end, and let's get into the video. All right, so going into last week, I only traded 4 days, right? I normally only trade 4 days, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't trade Fridays just because Fridays are just normally not the best price action, right? So this is the first trade I took, right? You guys know my strategy already. Support and resistance breakout, right? At 9:30 a.m. stock exchange open. So coming into the market, right? I came in at 9 a.m. So it would be right on that yellow vertical line, and I'm looking for the recent high and the recent low to like use as breakouts, right? So obviously support, obviously resistance, right? So coming in at 9 a.m., the recent low would have been right around here, right? So we have lows right here, strong support zone. We got two respects, right? Respected it twice, and we obviously have recent highs right here. As you guys can see, if we draw it all the way from over here, as you can see, it's a strong resistance zone, right? We have a couple of touches. We have one, two, three, four. We have four touches, right? So strong resistance, strong support, and all we're looking for is just a breakout at 9:30, right? So as you guys can see, broke out at about 9:25, right? And as soon as we broke to the downside at 9:25, I didn't enter just because I don't enter before 9:30, right? The price has to, I mean, not the price, the time has to say 9:30 a.m., right? For me to execute a trade, for me to enter a trade, right? So broke out before 9:30, right? Which is obviously it broke out at 9:25. If I drop down to the 1 minute time frame, I think it broke out at like 9:29 or some shit like that. Hold on. Okay, so as you guys can see, we broke out to the downside at 9:29, right? So literally 1 minute before 9:30, right? But I still didn't enter. I was disciplined. I was patient, right? Now, most people would have probably entered just because they broke the support zone. You know what I'm saying? They broke out, and that's how people get the strategy fucked up. That's how people get faked out and they lose money, right? So broke below at 9:29, right? And again, I only enter if the time says 9:30, right? So it doesn't matter if the time says 9:29 and it broke out, or it could be 9:29 and literally like 10 seconds, right? I'm not gonna enter until the clock says 9:30, right? So as you guys can see, we broke out to the downside at 9:29. I didn't enter. 9:30 candle hits. We literally have a complete reverse, right? So for the people who entered on shorts right here, they probably just lost, obviously, right? Because literally that 9:30 candle opened and stopped them out, right? So this is the whole reason why I don't enter before 9:30, because that initial 9:30 candle, which is the stock open, is very volatile, and like a lot of crazy shit can happen around that time. So I wait for that open candle, and obviously the open candle literally flipped and go back up. So once we break above this resistance, I did enter on buys, right? Because that's part of my strategy. I want to see the 9:30 candle open, and from 9:30 through 10 a.m. in the span of that 30-minute time range, I'm looking for my entry. If 10 a.m. hits and I don't get an entry, then I'm just not gonna trade that day because there's obviously not a setup, right? So our 9:30 candle open, and um around 9:35 we got the breakout to the upside. As soon as we broke through this resistance level, I entered on my buy position, 30-point stop loss, and I just targeted recent structure. And obviously, you know what I'm saying, we went up, hit our 1 to 1. This is another thing I didn't do, and this is all my fault, the reason why I lost, because this really should have been a break even trade, because obviously we went and hit our 1 to 1, right? So the um we made the amount of money that we're risking already, right? So at this point, I'm normally bringing my stops to break even, right? But I didn't for some reason, you know what I'm saying? I caught some FOMO, and I seen prices retracing a little bit. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go break even yet because I didn't want it to stop me out at break even and then kept pushing higher, right? So unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Kind of didn't really follow my rules right here. And You know what I'm saying? Price came back down, stopped us out, and we lost some money right here. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's all a part of trading. You just learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And as you go, you will get better. But, you know what I'm saying? Took a little L on Monday. Um, and yeah, going into Tuesday, let me hop back down on the 5 minute time frame. Um, Going into Tuesday, we traded US 30 and NASDAQ. Okay, so we're gonna just look for that US 30 trade since we're already here. Alright, so going into Tuesday, right? Literally the same thing. Um, Hold on, let me go over this with you guys too. Another thing I want to mention is if price was to break to the downside right here, right? If we broke out to the downside, I still probably wouldn't have took this trade just because like if we broke out at 9:30 to the downside, I still wouldn't have took this trade just because it's off of London lows. So what I realize is normally whenever I lose my trades, like it's never really about me breaking my rules or anything. It's literally just me trading off of London lows or London highs. So I just noticed that whenever there's a setup like in between London session range, or even if it like already broke above and then it gives the setup like up here or below here, then I normally win those trades. But if I'm taking the trades off of London lows or London highs, like for example, let's say we create a resistance at London highs and we just had some support right here. And then at 9:30, price broke above this resistance. Normally I would lose these type of trades. Why? Because I'm trading off of London highs, right? Now, the reason why I would lose is because most of the time, price is just coming up here to sweep London liquidity. So price would come up, sweep it, right, give you a little fake out, and then just come back down, right? So I normally lose those type of trades. So um, going into this week, I'm just not gonna trade off of London highs and London lows at all. Normally, what I would do is I would just lower my risk whenever those things happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I already knew that price likes to sweep London liquidity, right? So I would just lower my risk and go in. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, it just doesn't make sense because it's obviously not an A plus setup, and I only want to take A plus setup. Um I want to limit the type of trades I take. You know what I'm saying? So for you beginner traders, um, less trades is more, right? I know that that sounds kind of fucked up, but less is more. What do I mean by that? So in trading, it's not really like a job. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when you have a regular job, if you work hard, you get paid more, right? Or if you're working on a little business, like let's say e-com or clothing brand, the more you work, you get paid for how much hard work you put in, basically. Trading is completely different, right? Less is more. You want to be patient, you want to be disciplined, and you want to wait for those perfect setups. You know what I'm saying? The setups that you know that works for you. You know what I'm saying? The setups that 80% of the time you win. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take those 50% of the time. It's like a 50-50 setup, you know what I'm saying? When whether you can either win or lose. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take those type of setups. So this is the type of setup that's a 50-50, you know what I'm saying? Traded it if we broke to the downside and I took that, traded off of London lows. You know what I'm saying? Like just wouldn't it's not a really smart setup to take because price could just easily sweep liquidity, which is literally what it did right here. As you guys can see, you know what I'm saying? Price came down, swept liquidity, and then pushed up. You know what I'm saying? But we did unfortunately take a loss right here. I mean, that's just a part of trading. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna win every single trade, and you're not gonna lose every single trade. But just try to minimize you losing, right? Don't take those 50% setups. Simple. But yeah. So going into Thursday, guys, I'm kind of stuffy right now. I feel like a bit sick. So sorry from like breathing in the fucking mic and shit. But going into Thursday, not Thursday, Tuesday, um, I came in at 9 a.m., right, which would have been right here. And we're looking for our support and resistance zone. It's literally the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We have support at London lows and we have resistance at these highs right here. Oh, we have resistance at these highs right here. Right, came in at 9 a.m. Previous lows, London lows, right? We have strong support. Prices obviously respecting that area, right? As you guys can see, we have multiple touches. And we create a resistance before that 9:30 candle open. Now, um, like I said, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna trade off of London lows anymore, but I did lose this trade because I did trade off of London lows. Now, keep in mind, at the time, I wasn't really paying attention. I was still just risking less, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes price will just dump, you know what I'm saying? It won't really sweep liquidity. Like I said, it is a 50-50 setup, right? So at the time, I wasn't really thinking about that. But after the whole week was done and I back tested before this video, I obviously noticed that every time I trade off of London lows, I normally get faked out, right? So just a quick reminder, you know what I'm saying? Um, I'm just not gonna trade off of London lows. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? 9:30, you guys know the strategy already. Support and resistance breakout. 9:30, we got the breakout to the downside. As you guys can see, we left the wick right here. As soon as we got that breakout, I entered on a short position, 30-point stop loss, and obviously price reversed and stopped us out. We took another L right here. Um, and then we took a trade on Nasdaq on this same exact day. I take 2 trades per day, so it gives me opportunity to make back the loss. So I did take another trade. So same thing, you know what I'm saying? We're looking for that 9:30 open. Boom, coming at 9 a.m. We have obviously support. Let me just draw it out for you guys. So came in, we obviously created a high, low, high, low, high, right? Now, boom, recent structure would be this low right here, right? So that would be my support zone, right? So, boom, we have support and we're looking for resistance. Obviously, we have a high right here before that 9:30 candle. Boom. So we have support, we have resistance. Let me delete this real quick. Now, boom, all we're looking for is that breakout, right? So, boom, support and resistance, 9:30 candle, as you guys can see right here. We had a push to the upside. As you guys can see, we left the wick. And as soon as we got that push, we entered on longs, 30-point stop loss, and we got faked out. Now, like I said, bro, fake outs are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Losses are going to happen. It's not the strategy, and it's not really you. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes the markets aren't going to be the best. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the markets are going to be very good. So it's just up to you to be disciplined and be patient and just keep on going. And then whenever the markets do fit your strategy, you will see how much you profit. So yeah, we took another stupid L. Wasn't I didn't really break my rules, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like I just want to say one thing though. Like there's a lot of people that think if you're profitable, you just win every single trade. That's not how trading works. You know what I'm saying? Trading, even though you're profitable, profitability just means you can consistently take money from the markets. That's profitability. Some people can just take money but not consistently. You know what I'm saying? Some people can take money twice a week and then just lose it all on one day. You know what I'm saying? That's not profitability. Profitability is consistently making money from the markets, and whenever you do take losses, your losses are smaller than your profits. You know what I'm saying? So you're always gonna have profits if that makes any sense, right? So I just wanted you guys to know that even though I'm profitable, I still take losses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most of you traders, especially beginners, bro, you guys are so stupid. You guys think, oh, um, he's profitable and he's still taking so much losses. Like, are you fucking retarded, bro? Like, who do you think I am? Do you think I move the markets? Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Every trader take losses. Like, it's a part of trading. Every trader has losing streaks. You know what I'm saying? Every trader had bad days, bad weeks, bad months. That's just a part of trading. But at the end of the day, who's gonna have the profitable months? You know what I'm saying? I took an L here on Nasdaq on Tuesday and US 30. So that's 3 L's for the week so far in literally 2 days. Still up under a month. So yeah, going into Wednesday, took a trade on US 30. Absolutely banked on this trade. Literally following the same strategy. You know what I'm saying? So we came into the market at 9 a.m., which would have been right here on that yellow vertical line, and we're looking for support and resistance, right? So coming into the market, I seen that we already swept London lows, right? Now that's a good thing, right? Like I said before, I want to see price either sweep London lows or sweep London highs before giving me my setup. Or we can either be trading in between that little London range, and I want to see my setup, but I just don't want to see my setup on London lows or on London highs, because you know what I'm saying, that's just most likely you're gonna get faked out, right? So boom, we already swept London lows, right? We came down, had some support right here, pushed up a little bit, retraced to retest London lows, and then we disrespected this support zone. You know what I'm saying? So because we disrespected that support level is now a resistance level, right? So resistance becomes support and support becomes resistance. My nose is so stuffy. Resistance becomes support and support becomes resistance. So boom, we came in at 9 a.m. and previous lows obviously right here. So we have support and we have resistance. Now all we want to see is price to either break out to the upside or to the downside, right? At 9:30 a.m. As you guys can see, boom, that 9:30 candle shoot up. As soon as we break above this level right here, press buy, had a 30-point stop, and I just targeted recent structure, right? So I was targeting right here, boom, and boom. As you guys can see, 1 to 3 RR. Now we could have held it longer, you know what I'm saying, and targeted London highs, you know what I'm saying, and we would have literally banked a eight a 8 to 1 RR. That's crazy. That's times 8 the amount of money you're risking, right? So this strategy does work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to say, "Oh, breakout strategy doesn't work." Blah 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 blah. Like, bro, okay, okay, Mister Fair Value Gap, fucking SMT, Goofy, ICT. Like, come on now. Like, bro, I don't have no problem with ICT traders, but some of these ICT traders are so stupid, bro. They think if you don't trade ICT, bro, then there's no other strategy. Like, are you retarded? Like, does everyone forget that support and resistance is literally the basics of trading? Like, come on now. It's literally the easiest way for you to trade. You know what I'm saying? Support, resistance, and breakout. And boom. It's literally that simple. 1 to 3 RR. Easy. That's 3 times the money you're risking. Literally. So if I was to risk $1,000 in this trade, I would have just made $3,000 in profit, which is absolutely diabolical. And I could have held it for more. We could have even got a 1 to 4, or we could have got a 1 to 8. Like, that is, bro, come on now. If we held it for real, we could have got just about a 1 to 23. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? W trade Wednesday, 1 to 3 RR, and yeah, that this one trade actually made back the losses. Like, literally, this one trade made back all 3 losses from Monday, Tuesday. Right? We took 2 trades on Tuesday and 1 trade on Monday. And this one trade made back all those losses. Right? That's the power of risk to reward. Right? So um I risk 0.50% of my account, right? So if I the most I can lose in one day is 1%, right? 0.50. And I take 2 trades per day if I lose the first one. So the most I can lose in a day is 1%, which is, I'm not gonna say the amount, but 1% of my account, right? So if I'm going for 1 to 3s, you know what I'm saying, 1 to 4s, bro, I'm easily making back a loss in one trade, right? So I literally took 3 losses before this day, before Wednesday. We took 3 losses, right? So we lost 1.5%. 1 point, well, I don't know. I'm bad at math, but 1 point something percent, right? And 1.50%. We lost 1.50%. And one trade, we made that back, literally, right? 1 to 3 RR. Yeah, so the next trade was on NASDAQ, and this was on Thursday. Took another W. Same thing basically. Um, we came in at 9 a.m. So that would be right here, that yellow vertical line, and we're looking for support and resistance. Now, like I said before, support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support, right? So obviously, if you look at previous structure, there's really not too much to go off of, right? We could have went off of this wick right here, but for a safer entry, I just used previous support zone. So we obviously had previous support at London lows right here, right? And coming into 9 a.m., we disrespected that support area, right? Came back down, and obviously, once we disrespect a support zone, it becomes a resistance zone, right? So boom, we have resistance, and at 9 a.m. we created a low right here, so we had support. Now all you want to see is a breakout at 9:30. Boom, 9:30 candle breakout to the upside, entered on our buy position, followed our rules, 30-point stop loss, and we just targeted previous structure. Boom, and we caught another 1 to 3. So I just made um 6 times my money in 2 days. 6 times my money in 2 days, right? So like that's crazy, right? I took 3 losses, right? 3 losses, which cost me 1.50% of my account, right? 3 losses. Now, one single trade made back those losses, right? And then this trade just made me 3 times in profit. So was a W week to me. You know what I'm saying? W week, we started off rough, you know what I'm saying, but we came back and came in clutch, right? I don't trade on Fridays just because Friday's price action is just normally garbage. So let's go to Friday and see what happened though. Okay, so London session we had this huge drop off. Normally people would be looking to go for buys to fill in these gaps right here. But obviously price did not go up, right? Obviously we had choppy ass price action. This is one of the reasons why I don't trade on Fridays, right? Choppy ass price action, right? I'm pretty sure it was the same thing on US 30. Yep. Choppy ass price action, right? And just wouldn't take any trades, right? Just not pretty much not the best day to take trades. But let's see if we did. Came in at 9 a.m., which would have been right here. We're looking for resistance, right? So resistance would have obviously been on that 9 a.m. candle. So we're just gonna draw that out real quick. Resistance and previous structure would be at these lows right here, which is our support zone. Boom. 9:30 we're looking for that breakout. 9:35 still no breakout. 9:40 got that break to the downside. We would have entered right here. A 30-point stop loss. Oh my gosh. Yep. Would have definitely got fucked. This is the main reason why I don't trade on Fridays, guys. So yeah, pretty solid week. You know what I'm saying? Ended the week up. Um, ended the week up in profit. You know what I'm saying? Took 3 L's, 2 W's, and 1 W made back all the L's, and another W made me in profit. So W week. If you guys want to learn how to trade, if you guys are in that break even stage, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are beginners, or if you guys just need a strategy to trade with, you know what I'm saying? Click the link in the description below. It will take you straight to the free Discord. You know what I'm saying? We have free Discord. We have free trading course. You know what I'm saying? You guys can live trade with me every single day from Monday through Friday. We also have a one-on-one mentorship where I personally will teach you one-on-one how to trade. So if you need any help, bro, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Click the link in the description below. We can work together and I'll get you right. That's pretty much it for the video. I'm going to catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.